welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and today we are going to have another Sailfish OS related topic because we had a more or less unsuspected update. So in the end we have the 4.6.0.15 in this time around, and I think it came out yesterday or maybe the day before that, somewhere there, and I didn't update till now, just to show you how that is going on and so on and so forth. So first off, what's new in this episode, or in this update, better to say? The most important thing, or the most noteworthy thing, is that this is the first release where you are going to be able to use your Sony Xperia 10 Mark IV or 5 IV. I don't have one of these at the moment. Might change in future, we will see, depending on the C2, which is of course right now more or less in the coming. I don't know, it's going to be shipped sooner or later, because we just received the payment link. Problem is I don't have a credit card, and they only allow credit cards to be used for paying the final payment, which is a bit of a bummer. I'm hoping that they are changing that soon, because I just can't pay anywhere in any kind of way like that. And the most important thing is, if you have the pre-release or the pre-order stuff on PayPal, for instance, which I use, then I'm expecting the final payment to be PayPal too, because that's what I paid with in the first way, and I find that a little bit odd, but whatever, maybe they are going to add it. If not, we will see what I'm going to do. Maybe I'm going to get one of those phones then, or I'm just trying to get some kind of a credit card for it. But it's hard, because in Germany credit cards are not that common than, for instance, in Scandinavian countries or something like that. And so we will see what's happening there. Anyway, let's stay at the topic here. In the end, this is going to be the release you will have to install to get 5.0. That's very important. So of course, if I go over here and we are looking at the release notes more or less, there are a couple of different things you are going to see here, which are of course that it's a stub release, which more or less all of them are, at least the last ones we got there. And in the end, very important stub release note, please make sure that you update, because only the devices which can have this update, so 4.6.15, and have it installed, will be able to update to the next major version. So very important for you to know that, and please update to this one then. Don't do it right now, we are talking about that furthermore. And in the end, what's going on there, you should have a look at the different informations down below here. If you are using, for instance, the 4 or the 5 Mark IV or 5 of the 10 series of Sony Xperias, then there are a couple of different things you have to consider. First off, only the double SIM variants are not yet supported, so there will be something that's coming in, out of there for them. So if you're using that, don't use it right now. Just have a look at the version numbers there. There are a couple of other version numbers available, so I'm not sure if all of the double SIM variants are out of the picture, or if it's only those two here and others are. I'm not sure, because I don't own such a device, so I can't tell you. In the end, for now it's not there, but it will be rolled out later, so don't hesitate or something. Or don't be too depressed. It's going to come. And other than that, very important, not all of the features are going to work for the first release here. Why are they putting out something that is that unpolished till now? Short answer, there was a poll in the forums, and the forum poll told or asked the people, hey, would you like a first release that we can put out now, or should we wait till Sony, for instance, got us all the blobs and stuff like that, so we can work with it, because the camera, for instance, is disabled because of this blob thing. In the end, Sony is giving the blobs. Blobs are more or less code fragments and stuff like that are going to be used to, for instance, activate cameras and stuff like that. And if you don't have that from the original manufacturer, in this case Sony, then it's very hard or very, very close to undoable in the end that you are getting the camera to work. So if Sony is not providing that for them, it takes a little bit longer, and because of that, this is one of the reasons why they just deactivated the camera till that is done. Over the air it will be updated, at least they say that, later on when the blobs are available, but till now we don't have that option. So that's one of the most important things. So if you're installing 4 or 5, be aware camera is out of the picture for now. Fingerprint detection, the same thing. It might have a problem with battery status update, which is a pretty bad thing to have. eSIMs are disabled, okay, and you can see it. There are a couple of pretty big downfalls here, so only if you're really willing to play with this and play with this operation here, or with these problems more or less, and help them to solve them, then you should update your Sony Xperia 4 or 5 if you have that. In the end, everything that you get over the air till now, because this is the first release, you're not going to have any kind of problems like this with your Sony Xperia 10 Mark III in this case, which I'm using of course too. So if you have the 10 Mark III, nothing is going to change in that direction. Everything is still staying the same as you know it. As you already have probably read here, there is another fall, which is restarting the phone may take up to 2 minutes, okay, and refreshing the phone for the second time might not work if you're not doing this little workaround I'm telling you about in this release note till now. If you go down here, you will see a couple of different other things. Oh, I somehow hit some kind of a key combination, it seems, so sorry for that. Anyway, here we are. If I go up again, you will see there are a couple of different other informations here that you should really take in account to do this. And in the end, here are a couple of the issues which got hopefully done in this case. And here are a couple of other informations about the installing service, and of course what got updated and stuff like that. So we have several connectivity updates, which are probably a nice thing. I don't know if they're really working, but if so, it's much better to have a smoother transition between Wi-Fi and mobile. Sometimes it took a little, or you had to restart the Android app if you are changing from Wi-Fi to mobile in between. So this might be something that could have been more or less hopefully fixed. We will see. And other than that, you can see we have some kind of a bug with Android apps from the app grid. I didn't experience that, but maybe some apps had problems with that, I'm not sure. And we have a new web view in Android, which is a pretty big thing in general, which has been updated here too. Okay, so in the end, a couple of different things that might help here. If you have other stuff like the fingerprint service fixed, sometimes the fingerprint service did go out more or less, so you could use it at the start and then you would have to restart the service for some kind of reason, and then it would work again. But if you didn't that, then you might not be able to log in with a fingerprint scanner, which was a bit of a downfall. It didn't happen all the time, and we didn't know why. Maybe they fixed it, which would be a great thing too. And again, make sure that especially on the Xperia XR2 and 10, I think here are not the 10 Mark II and 3, but we are talking about Mark I in this case. This will more or less do another opt2 partition, which will grant more access or more space for Sailfish OS 5.0, which seems to be necessary, especially if you are updating them. And this is more or less what this app is, or what this update is going to do for you. There are a couple of other information, just read them by yourself. You can read them down below in the commentary section there. And there are a couple of different things like the ING banking app, which is German bank more or less, or an online bank more or less, which might help, and so on and so forth. So just have a look at that. Probably some of those might be very helpful for you, and this is the new update. Most importantly, images for the Mark 4 and 5 are out. If you want to download them, you can download them from the links there, which are provided up there in this forum post. I'm going to post the link to the forum post in the commentary section down below, in the description, better to say. And other than that, of course, the smaller things like the Android connectivity stuff and maybe the fingerprinting might be interesting for YouTube. And so after telling you all that, let's have a look at my smartphone. Very important. The last time around I did an update, which was a big one, of course, so it's a little bit fine, but it was hard to cope with. There was a problem with updating everything, and I had really to more or less flash the phone. You wouldn't have to, but in the end I flashed the phone because why not? I could do it anyway. And it's very important in these situations that you have some kind of an update or backup, better to say. So back up your device before you update your device, especially with bigger changing stuff. So especially if you're going from 4.6 to 5.0, please make a full update of your smartphone. I can just highly recommend it, because if something is going on there, something is troublesome, or something you changed on your smartphone will run into trouble with an update or something, then you have something to revert to go from if you have to reflash your phone and just install from the go and stuff like that. So very important, do an update. I can highly recommend it, and here was your warning. Okay, so first off, I'm going to go to my settings here and show you what's going on. As you can see, you have a couple of different options, of course, and if you go down a little, you will find, in this case, Datensicherung, which means just the backups more or less. If you click on that, so I'm going to do that, then you will see a couple of different things. For me, I have a backup. My backup space is more or less on my virtual server I'm owning. My virtual server has Nextcloud installed on it, and I'm going to do all the stuff on there. You can do it, for instance, if you don't have any kind of server or whatever, or Nextcloud or another cloud service provider in the end. I'm not a big fan of that. If you really use a different service provider like Google or like Microsoft or something, that's not what you should do. Get Nextcloud if you can, or if you don't have that and don't want that, you can always do a backup more or less on your SD card if you use that. The Sony Xperia 10 Mark III in this case has one drawback. If you are using a SD card and you want to use two dual SIM or the dual SIM mode, you're not going to be able to, because it's only a tray with two parts in there, and you can work with one SIM card and one SD card, or you can use two SIM cards in there. I am using two SIM cards, so I'm not able to use my SD card expansion slot, whatever, because that one is already occupied by one of the SIM cards. The new C2, for instance, doesn't have that problem. So in the new Community Phone 2, it seems like it's a 3-tray SIM card holder, or whatever you want to call that, where you can really put in two SIM cards and one extension card, which is a great thing. I think that's one of the most important features there, because it's really, really helpful. But whatever. So first off, you can then just click on that button there, and if you click on that, it's going to take a backup more or less, and if everything happened and was fine, you can see it here. If it's not changing, come on. If it's not changing the orientation, then, and you can see it here already, we have a backup which is very recent, so from today, 14 o'clock. Now it's so 2 p.m. in this case, 5 p.m. is it now. It's very recent, so I'm able to do this and start with the update. So first off, if you check that did the backup, make sure that you get, for instance, your pictures and your videos and stuff like that also backed up. If you don't save them already in the cloud or somewhere, then do that too, because it's not included in the data security package you get here, or the backup you're creating like this, because these are not the media files you're going to save here, but all the different connection information, the contacts of your smartphone and so on and so forth, messages, stuff like that is going to be saved, but not all the media files. So if you really want to make a full backup, just connect it with a USB-C connector to your PC, for instance, and transfer, for instance, your pictures, videos, maybe music, whatever you're using. Put them down on your laptop or wherever you want to save them, other than your smartphone itself. It's just easier to do it like that. If something is happening, you will be very happy to have done that. Yeah. Other than that, I know it's always a little bit of trouble and you don't want to, and hey, it's just a click and stuff like that. You will not regret it to have done it at least once or twice. Okay, so just make that now if you are considering updating. Okay, after you did all that, because I did that, now you can go over back to your settings, and in the settings menu you can go to the updates for Sailfish OS. It's called more or less Aktualisierung für Sailfish OS in German. If I click on that, you are going to be notified that here it is. Hey, there's a new version available. So 470 MB, a little bit bigger one, not the biggest, but a little bit bigger one then. It's a Sauna release with the number 15 at the end there. And as you can see, you have a couple of different fixes. For instance, the fingerprint reader might be fixed, and some other preparations for the major update which is coming. As I mentioned before, you will need this one to install it further. Okay. So, next one, if you want to download it now, first off, please have a look at your, let's see how I can see that, at your battery state. Please make sure that at least this one is at 80% or something, or I think it's 50 they are recommending. I would go higher. And if not, just make sure that you are charging your phone. And of course, if you are doing the update, nothing hinders you to put in some kind of USB connector there, USB-C connector to really give it power while it's updating. That's all fine then. And other than that, let's start with that. First off, you will have to download it, so make sure you're in the Wi-Fi, of course. After that, it's going to take a while, of course. It's just telling you, okay, hey, I'm downloading it now. Depending on your connection, internet connection, and so on and so forth, that might take longer or shorter. So whatever it's going to be for you. It might be that I'm going to cut here and give you more information later on when we downloaded it fully. Yeah, and as you can already see, we now have a downloaded version, so the refresh or the update is more or less available, and it already got downloaded. And in the end, all you will have to do now is be patient a little bit and of course have a look at that. Just to let you know, when we are doing the update, this service will not be available, so I will have to show it to you on the smartphone itself and on the screen more or less with the camera itself, so it might not be shown here, but it's going to be shown on the smartphone itself what's happening. First off, what you will have to do now is just go here and go to the drawer menu and click on install. If we do that, smartphone will more or less shut down, as you already can see, and just so it's just not all the way black in the background there. All you can see now is more or less that you will see this little LED in the end, and the LED is going to show you, okay, I am more or less shutting down in the end, and it shut it down now, so everything is off. Now wait a little, there was a little bit of a vibration, then you see this icon here, which is just normal if you install Sailfish OS, because this is some kind of a security device by Sony itself or Android smartphones or whatever. Doesn't matter, it really is just how it is. And now you can already see, okay, Sailfish is there. Now we have to put in our security code. I don't think, as you can see, in this state, the fingerprint reader is not going to work, so I'm just going to put in my little code here. And after I put it in, you will see this little bar there. So Sailfish OS in the end. I'm not sure if it's... Come on. I want it to be there. 1 sec. I'm trying to get it to get the focus to where I want it. Is he doing something? Yeah, now it's better. Okay. So as you can see, there was this little bar. After a while, this should start. This is the perfect way it should work. In some situations, you might see this bar is just not moving anymore. If that is happening, then the Jolla boys just told us, hey, wait 15 minutes please, in this state when it's all through to 100%. Wait 15 minutes and then more or less hold down this button for a longer time, but we don't have to do it because it seems to be working as it should. It vibrated and now Sony logo is again visible because it restarted, of course. And now let's see if we are going to the fully functional mode again. So you can see Sailfish OS is shown on the screen here. I hate that the camera... That's probably a good thing about... come on. There we go. Probably a good thing about it, if it's black and the screen is black, that you will focus automatically on the foreground here, but in this case we are not seeing that. Seems to have already begun through, so let's have a look. I will have to put in my my password here again. Let's see what's going on. Seems to be working fine. Yeah, there we are. Again, I'm just going to put in my key again, because there are a couple of them. There's the SIM cards and I have a telephone pin in. But this is all totally normal. I'm just going to switch back, because for now it's just showing that, because it's not in the mode to show everything, but I'm just going to put it into the mode so you can see it on the screen here. There's not too much to be seen in this update, so in the end I'm not sure if I really can show you much. Yeah, and there we are again. As you can see, we have an image of what we want to see here. Some kind of reason it is zoomed in, I will zoom out. There we are. And as you can see, we are back in Sailfish OS. It seems like it ran perfectly through. Last time around, I for instance had all these different more or less warnings telling me, hey, this service is going to be a problem, this service, and so on and so forth, and it was a very long list. Now, this time around, there was nothing. So that's just because it's a small update, there's not too much to see here, but let's see that everything is like it should. So for that, just go to your settings again, go down below, and after a while you should see the product information part here at info. And if I click on that, we should now see what version is running. And as you can see, we have 4.6.0.15 there, and we have all the different other information shown here. I'm not sure if I saw this before, so all the app updates, or better to say, so the added ones are in here too, which is fine, but everything else looks like it should, and I think that's more or less the update circle, and it really went through very, very nicely. Other than that, I don't think we can see anything other than, for instance, the fingerprint sensor working or not. Let's see it. Yeah, worked perfectly as it seems. First time this one, second time goes in, perfect. And that's something it worked before, so it really is, I don't know how to show it to you, because sometimes after a very long time it didn't work anymore, but in general after restart like we did here, everything was fine anyway. But I think it was pretty fast this time around, so let's see. First off, I can shut it down more or less, but only in the screen saving mode. Then if you go on there, it's going to vibrate once to show you, okay, I'm there, but You still have to put in the fingerprint again or the security code, and if I do it now, it's fine. And it worked very fast, I would say, which is a nice thing. So yeah, other than that, I hope you had fun with this episode, because this is more or less all I can show you in this episode. Hope you had fun. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked the video, of course. If you have any kind of questions, comments, whatever, put them down below in the commentary section. As always, I'm going to put in the links in the description box of the video. And other than that, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and we will see us in the next episode again. Bye, and see you around. Bye.